I'm Carole Eddington. We have rehearsals at my house every Wednesday night, which is a lot of fun. We just hang out there, and we try to make a real safe environment for people to do whatever they want to do. So it's exciting because we have some very professional people, and we have professional people willing to help the new people, and then we have a lot of new people, and people at all different levels, and different levels of fear, and but this is a family type atmosphere, so you can just let yourself go. And this is our musical director, Rudy Lobo, on guitar. Steve Eddington on monster bass.
Melodies bring memories, memories of a song, songs about my Georgia, back where I belong. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly, and in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Now I say Georgia, 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 Georgia.
Okay, and now we're going to have Susan Fine do a couple numbers. Here's Susan.
Can't settle down, mobile society can't settle down. Too much variety, too many places and faces for me to choose one. I don't want to be a toy for boys, no sir, no siree, no.
pockets, he'd have a ball in money.
Sitting here on my stomach with their sharp little claws, which are usually cold and occasionally painful, and sometimes there are so many that I can hardly stand it. Rats! I feel every now and then that I want to bite someone. I know every now and then what I want to be. A fist of animal. Life is a cabaret song. Only a cabaret. I used to have a girlfriend known as Elsie, with whom I shared more sordid rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you'd call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. And it is from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a day. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Only a cabaret, old chum. And we love a cabaret.
Never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. Oh no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me.
Now ain't that love? For you. When you walk, I wanna walk with you. When you talk, I wanna talk some too. Now ain't that love? Oh, ain't that love? Man, I really lay my heart for you. If you ever need a friend, I'll be there until the end. Now ain't that love? Whoa, ain't that love? Whoa, ain't that love? Ain't that love? Now ain't that love? Baby, I bet I feel in my heart for you.
Proud of me, gave me C's and emperor's salary came to me. The babies and babies are fond of me, and I'm fond of them too in return, you see. H-A, we're going alright. G-A-N spells American. I'm proud of all the Irish folk that's in me. Give it a right to say a word in me. H-A, we're going alright. G-A-N, you see. It's a name that is shaped never has.
you couldn't say. I saw Chicken Lake Ballet. They would think you don't know nothing. You are missing here a button. 'Cause the chicken's only good for consomme. Whereupon, a chicken or a duck is a mistake. When you do schbun.
Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight.
Always go along, defend him when he's wrong, and tell him when he's strong. He's wonderful. Puerto Rico, my heart's devotion. Let it sink back in the ocean. I like the island Manhattan with smoke on your pipe and I like to be in America. Okay, my be in America. Everything be in America.
Gonna smoke me in America.
Tonight won't be just any night. Tonight there will be no morning sun.
Your hair with hair, long beautiful hair,
Shining, gleaming, steaming, flashing, waxing. I want you to get it out of there. Shoulder length longer. Here, baby, there, mama. Everywhere, daddy, hey. Showing me all my
Had one another sort of friend, walking proudly on a winter coast, wearing smells from laboratories, facing a dying nation. Silence tells me secretly everything, everything. Where the sunshine, where the sunshine, the sun shining, the sun The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Now wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? Well, let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender. Hey, big spender. Hey, big spender. Spend a little time with me. I don't know how to take this. I don't see why he moves me. He's a man. He's just a man. And I've had so many men before in very many ways.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and I think that it's reaching clear up to the sky. Put your hands together. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Yeah, yeah. Everything's going my way. That's what I said. Everything's going my way. Yeah, yeah. It's so beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Just fine. The day's another war. Seems I'm living on a line. One side is paradise, the other a war. As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love. Our love that was so strong. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one, but I know you've got reasons. These things that are pleasing you hurt you somehow.
Code that actually helps people to live a better, happier life. And these kids have just been unbelievable, going around to different children's groups and performing for them and getting the most unbelievable response.
You'll smell real bad if you treat me and you don't keep your body clean. I guess I'm gonna go take a bath. Oh, Colin, you smell wonderful. I see you took a bath. I'm a clean, mean machine. That's good. Can I go outside and play now? Sure, now that you're clean. Can I play with you now? Zestfully, zestfully, zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. Wayne Happiness says, keep your body clean. Keep your body clean. Keep your body clean. He's ready to get
Take a lot of pleasure in reintroducing Rudy Lobo.
Rudy does an incredible amount of work for Arts Alive Chicago. He's our officially, his title is musical director, but he does everything, anything connected with music and other things. Puts a lot of time and effort into what he does, and all the Arts Alive members know that, right?
I'm going to do a little song that I didn't learn in prison because I've never been in prison. So I had to learn it someplace else. That was my handicap as a musician.
And now that it's all over, all I can do is wish you
Pick up. We do it at the end.
went by, the flowers droop inside, and I know the reason why. Oh, much sweeter, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes. It's alright. I don't know no love song. I can't sing the blues anymore. But I can sing this song, and you can sing this song when I'm gone.
Just a breath, the face of God stamped into this planet, trimmed in tranquil green or raucous birds, foggy browns and crimson petals like fingers mute and trying. It's a picture, not life, it's a lie. The things that crawl and scream and die, and then the spirits that don't fly. What a horrible mistaken sort of plan to have a spirit cry.
I'd be frightened, I couldn't cope, just couldn't cope. I turned my head, I back away, I wouldn't want to know, he scares me so.
But I'm being sarcastic. They were days of claustrophobia and climbing the walls, days of boredom and abdomen, and above all, which was all she had, days of intestinal fortitude which knew no dog food. Now, can you see, my cronies, why I tend to fall out of my lampshade when the subject of belching arises, as it is irk to do? I'm in a fix, or a pickle, if you might say, but that reminds me too much of pumpernickel, and anyway, I'm digressing, or redressing, or regressing, or repressing, or transgressing, or transvesting, or transversing, or dispersing, or maybe I'm just very, very hungry. Bon appetit!
Hold it, everybody! Listen! Listen! I can turn the gray skies blue. I can make it rain whenever I want it to. Oh, I can build a castle from a single grain of sand. I can make a ship sail up on dry land. But my life is incomplete and not so blue, 'cause I can't get next to you.
Get next to you, baby.
Next to you.
Get next to you.
Just get next to you.
Well, the sun never shines in whiskey heaven. White lightning is the only friend of mine.
Boats moving away from shore, men doing their daily chore. Nets are fastened and strung out wide to catch the fish in the morning tide. Within the streets the children playing, women bag their goods for weighing, frisky dogs are always in the way. Hey babe, I wanna love you and hold you in my arms. I wanna sing an old time melody. Hey babe, I wanna love you and fill you with my charms, and then I wanna drag you on your feet, and we'll go dancing. We'll dance down the way, well, we'll go dancing until the break of day. Well, we'll go dancing and never give me by. Hey babe, get your dancing shoes, I'm waiting in the car. I said we'll be here.
you. So fun to have no regrets. Recline yourself, recline yourself.
Good evening. My name is Neil Goldhawk. I'm the former host of the Neil Goldhawk Rock Show, which was appearing on Manhattan Cable Channel J in Manhattan, New York, for 3-year period every third Wednesday from 3:45 to 3:49 a.m. The rock show is no longer on. If it was, I would not be able to be here tonight. But I am here, so you can safely assume I was kicked out of New York. My final band I had on, the Dutch band Firehosen, whose climactic last performance on my show destroyed the offices and studios at Manhattan Cable Channel J. I'm here now to host Comedy Night after winding my way through various Battle of the Bands, Team Bikini Club Girl Contest, hosting jobs, etc. And now I am here to host this show for you. And I want to say one thing, which is that oftentimes comedy, if people go to see a comedy show at Ha-Ha's or Funny Club, and they think the best comic is the one who they laugh the loudest at and they spill their drink in their lap. But this isn't always true. Often the best comedy is preceded by something that would make you cry almost, or tear up. These are what some of the best comedians do to you. And speaking of crying, I'd like to tell you our sponsor for tonight's show. The sponsor for tonight's show is Pathos, the potato chips so salty you'll cry for water. Enjoy a Pathos in the intermission, and then the drinking fountains right down the hall.
I will order for the band, 'cause they're all sleeping in the van. Just put those burgers in my hand, but make them greasy. We'll make them greasy. When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. If you can't go and your whole family's on dope, well, you can always go downtown.
According to the columnist, a rumor somehow still persists that a certain gentleman and I have named a date which I must deny. He's rich and handsome and gallant, and everything a gal could want. But I've learned my lesson, and anyhow, I like the way I'm living now. 'Cause I'm a one-ticket gal, free as a breeze. I go where I like, I do as I please. When I lock up my apartment, I've got all the keys. I'm living alone, and I like it.
I'm going to cry. The house is filthy. Why? I cleaned it only last night. Don't need washing too. and I'm feeling blue. I look like a mess, I'm a sight. There's dust and there's dirt everywhere. I'm starting to feel it's unfair. The dishes and the diapers, the piles of handy wipers. I need a little help or I will go insane. Martini on the rocks would surely ease the pain. Now Mary's punching little Bill. The baby's phoned my diet pill. I'm a housewife, yes, that's me, going crazy. Wait and see, I am going to suddenly have a breakdown. I'm a housewife, yes, that's me, going crazy. Wait and see. I'm slowly going off the edge.
Miss Kate McClanahan.
I'm looking for my girlfriend Carolyn. We came to this party together. I had to get a cup of coffee. I left her at the hors d'oeuvres with this big Italian man. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and it were gone. And
Can you sign it?
I need a roommate. I need a roommate fast. I've been living with my parents for the last 2 months. I'm 34 years old. My parents are retired now, so kicking back and taking in the Wheel of Fortune is a mainstay in the entertainment diet. I used to think my parents were rather fascinating people. Well read, world traveled. But no, they only leave the house to go to Red Lobster on Friday nights.
And the names are George and Pearl Ann. Let's give them a hand.
It bust.
We would like to do one of our favorite songs for you. It's dear to our heart. It's a lullaby. And we sing it to our youngins every night. I'll start.
What key would you like to do this in, Pearl Ann?
George, I told you not to get technical.
This is a love song.
I just said it was a lullaby. You never understood the words.
It's a lullaby of love.
Okay, I said I'd start. My
left me. My baby done went to the drive-in movies with someone else. And I feel like homemade yodeling.
What's the next part?
I thought I was taking the solo.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I took it already.
You broke my heart because I couldn't dance. You didn't even want me around. But now I'm back to let you know. Whoa. I can really shake 'em down. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance. Let me know. Work it on me. Oh, you drive me crazy. A little bit of soul now. I can mash potatoes. I can mash potatoes. I can do the twist. I can do the twist. Well, tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. Do you like it like that? Do you like it like this? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me.
Baby, you can come to me if you want me. I ain't gonna want you. You can come to me if you need me. I sure don't need you. Oh. There's a little bit of Ireland in every lucky charm. It's not much, but it's enough to keep us all from harm. So eat your goddamn cereal and drink your sugar milk. Oh, you surely will go to hell like the bloody British oppressors and others somewhere else. God bless Ireland! Thank you, thank you.
Movies on the backs of my eyelids. They jump up to another alarm ringing. The sand drifts are now rolled into balls and pushed out through the holes. The men position themselves at the eyelash of their choice before they unlock the lids. A key is turned at each point, and the lids fold up with a little help. Sunlight floods through my pupils. The small workers collapse in the soft beds of my retinas. And that's it.
As candles lit the nights, as silently, dreamily we perceived the shadows, we dined on music with open hearts and set ourselves free. As works of art were born, the chords and poems and colors of three admiring souls, as celebration blossomed into mastered forms of divine beauty, as I held each sweet art crystal in my hand, confirming each bright spark of color as it met the sun, your eyes were constant, blessing it and me and us. And our sanity to have the nights be dances and the days be summer color, stroked and dabbled on quiet sky canvases.
This is entitled Thoughts I Had in Sequence. Oh, to sit down somewhere almost quiet and try to write something. Momentarily, however, my attention seems to fly off and skew out at oblique angles. I feel I may have almost injured myself from the force of just thinking. Fortunately, the pen continues to dive across the page and leave its scratchings in a light blue shade I selected from an assortment of currently available colors. But wait, I stopped myself just for a moment to ask, hey, is any of this stuff really poetic? Well, nobody's listening here at the moment I write this. The critics I reluctantly carry around inside my head have been stuffed into the closet for half an hour or so since I decided to start scribbling this stuff out. I thought for a moment there to say scribbling nonsense and gaga, but I quickly realized that was one of those critics, poking his bad complexion out through the crack in the slightly ajar closet door. It was a slightly ajar closet. Hideous creatures they are, the critics, I mean.
I'm so depressed, I don't know what to do. Gee, sorry to hear that, Charlie Brown. Maybe there's something I can do to help. I think that the best thing for you would be to come right out and admit all the things that are wrong with you. Do you really think that'll help, Lucy? Well, certainly. All right, I'll do that. I'm not very handsome, or clever, or lucid. I'm not very good at playing marbles or ping pong. I'm usually awful at parties and dances. I stand like a stick, or I laugh, or I cough, or I don't bring a present, or I spill the ice cream, or I get so depressed that I stand and I scream, oh, how can there possibly be one small person as thoroughly, totally, utterly flawed as me? Well, that's all right for a starter. A starter? Well, certainly. You don't think that by mentioning these few superficial feelings you're gonna do any good, do you, Charlie Brown? Well, you've really got it dull. You're stupid, self-centered, and moody. I'm moody. You're terribly dull to be with. Yes, I am. And nobody likes me, not Shirley, or Schroeder, or Linus, or Pigpen, or Lucy, or Lucy, or Snoopy, or wait a minute now. Snoopy likes me. Oh no. He only pretends to like you because you feed him. Bought me an old guitar when I was just a kid. I tried real hard to play good. That's just what I did. Got it in my head that I was gonna go around Florida. I played the Grand Ole Opry. I was gonna be a star. Well, the road that paid me
shaggedy doll was laying on the street. Then I picked her up and brought her in the house. My little raggedy, shaggedy doll was as quiet as a mouse. And then the miracle happened. She opened up an eye. She looked at me so sadly, and then she gave a sigh. And then she closed her eyes, and I knew that she had died. I looked at her so sadly, and then I cried. I cried. And cried. Amen.
That accosted a snail. And the snail went downtown. The police said, "What happened?" And the snail said, "I don't know. It all happened so fast."
Thank you very much. Don't quit your day job.
Oh, George. Hi, George.
Gracie, what are you doing up here?
Well, see, I was looking for my brother.
You look great. You look good. I love those earrings you wore.
Thank you, George. Oh, George, I look pretty good for being dead. Isn't it so many years now?
You do. You look wonderful.
George, you haven't changed a bit. Wait a minute.
I noticed a couple young girls in the audience.
Oh, George, you're always looking at skirts.
I'll be 100 next week. And you look pretty good for being dead, Gracie.
Oh, thanks, George. You do too.
Oh, God.
It was very old. He was very crotchety. Oh, my back. Oh, my aches and pains. If I could live my life over, I wouldn't. Every morning, Mr. Grimlott got up with the sun. He got out his morning paper, opened it, and said, "There's nothing good going on in the world today." Then he drank some tea and a dry roll with butter. He hobbled out and to look at his garden. The potatoes had bugs in them. The tomatoes had bees in them. "There is nothing good growing in my garden today." The sun was just beginning to go down. Mr. Grimlott looked around. The curtains were the same, the cupboard was the same, the fireplace was the same. "There is nothing really to do now. I might as well go back to sleep," he said. But Mr. Grimlott couldn't sleep. The sun setting in the sky came in the window, a strong glaring light that shone upon the violin. It made the strings look ever so sparkly. "That old thing," thought Mr. Grimlott. "I gave up playing it a long time ago." The light kept beating in the window, holding Mr. Grimlott's attention on the violin.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, yeah, we say clapping. Oh, what a beautiful day.
All right now.
And I got a beautiful feeling. Everything is going my way. One more time. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. Yes, and I got a beautiful feeling. Everything is going my way. Yes, it is. Everything is going my way. You know it is. Everything is going my way.
is called The Joy of Creating. And now I would like to introduce Grace Faraci. Just a secret, she's also my mom. Yay. And Grace has been singing all her life, and I've heard her sing all my life.
Sister, you've been on my mind, my sister, for two of a kind, my sister. I'm keeping my eye on you. I bet you think I don't know nothing but singing the blues, my sister. Have I got news for you? I'm something. I hope you think that you're something too. Say the music's so they started swaying to and fro. They didn't know just what to do, 'cause that's how the blues really began. They say the breeze in the trees singing weird melody, and they made that the start of the blues. And from the jail came a wail from a downhearted frail, and they named that the start of the blues. From the whippoorwill on the hill, they played a new note. They nursed it with a horn till it was born into a new note. And they nursed it. Oh, I say they rehearsed it. And they of the news that the Southland gave birth to the blues.
Okay, this is a poem entitled Magic. What can you do that no one else can explain away with laws and principles? What can you intend to occur that takes no action or force, no motion, no time? What magic do you have? Oh, I don't suppose there to be witches and sorcerers milling about the crowds of regular folks, casting spells like lollipops in a 5 and dime. But what magic do you have? What magic is this thing called life? Oh yes, of course, we've been told it's all very mechanical in its assorted forms and genders, its vegetations and growths, its critters and tiny amoebas. What about the magic of life? What about the times you opened that book to the exact page you intended? You spoke the exact words another intended to say. You accomplished the exact thing you intended to gain, knowing little of how it came about, perhaps, and caring less anyway. You intended it to be real, and wow, there it was before your popping eyes, all done and fixed up just like magic. What are you going to do with yourself, you magical person, you?
His name is Joe Foshi. He's a wonderful dancer. He's choreographed several musicals, including West Side Story. He actually has choreographed many numbers for the Happiness Club, my sister Gigi's theatrical troupe. As a matter of fact, a little later we're going to show a number that I choreographed with him, and Lane Eddington wrote and Gigi Faraci Harris directed. So now I'd like to introduce Mr. Joe Foshi.
Yeah!
is Steve Eddington. He was introduced earlier, and he's been playing on some things. This is Steve. I didn't bring your card up. Steve actually has been a musician for many years. He's a businessman and a musician now. Wow. Yeah, it's possible.
Necessarily in that order.
He's a musician and a businessman. He owns his own company. Which is kind of a nice thing. People go, oh, you know, you can't do both, or, you know, with all the things to do in life. Oh, if you're an artist, make the time. Because what it does, it carries over into everything else. Because if you're happy and creating, it's going to affect everything else that you're doing. Right? Right. Okay, Steve is also a member of a group called the New Colony 6. Some of you might remember this group. They had some hits. He's actually going to be singing one of the hits from the New Colony 6, right? Yeah. Yes. And another song that he wrote himself, and he'll tell you about it. Steve Eddington.
I was in a band called the New Colony 6 a long time ago. Does anybody remember that band? Yeah! They're all old. I'm older. But yeah, they still play these songs on the radio, on the oldie stations. But there's the biggest hit that the song had was called I Will Always Think About You. And it sold over 1 million records. And it was the #1 record across the United States. I will always think about you, even if I live without you. Always think about you, it's true. Baby, it's true.
Now I'd like to introduce Carole Eddington, and she has some poems that she wrote. Carole's a wonderful poet. Carole is not only a singer, songwriter, but also a poet, and Carole Eddington.
He's ready.
Thank you. I shall read 3 poems that I dug out of the archives. Carole Eddington classics, I guess, I don't know. The first one is called The Diamond. There was a diamond, bud-shaped, the shape of the praying hands that held it and hid it. The prayer done, the hands opened like a rose to set free the diamond, to blossom, to unfold dove wings and fly, to somehow open or rise. But the diamond sat in the hands, still and complete, for it was a rock. But it twinkled so mightily that he who held it looked upward as if it had come from the sky, and there were the stars twinkling in full bloom. Thank you. This one is called A Boy Came By. Hard to see. I wrote it in it's written in green, and it's very light. A boy came by with nervous eyes. He followed me through several skies. I always thought he looked at me through many slanted windows. I showed him lights and pretty things, some poetry and golden strings, but he was hard as thorny wood and howled the way the wind does. It isn't you that's mad, I said, it's ancient dreams that lie there dead and heavy like a swollen fist. Oh yes, he said, I see it. So carefully I took his hand and guided it through layers of sand until at last he touched the source and pushed himself to free it. Then suddenly he turned around, the windows shattered to the ground, and there was he and only he, a man of love, in love with me. Thank you. And this is, the last one is called Remember the Circle. It's a little heavier. So gear up for this.
Yeah.
Remember the circle, forget the county fair. It's too soft, don't get pulled there. Remember the circle of infinite strength. Let circuses die, even families fall by at length. Remember the circle of answers and light, of love beyond time. Observe your adventures with joy, but don't lose your sight. And when it's night and you think you're home, but you're whirling in space, maybe lost or alone, when fears engulf you as time ticks hard, your heart pounds quickly as you slip downward. There's nothing to stand on, you're blind and you're small, you've never been so down, yet still you fall. Remember the circle, it's something in you. Remember something you're certain is true, maybe a beautiful point of view that's decidedly you. It all starts and ends with you.
And now I would like to introduce Kate McClanahan. Kate is an actress, writer, and director, and president of a company called Sound Advice, which is a voiceover demo service. She's acted in and directed dozens of theatrical productions, many in which she wrote, and you can currently hear Kate on Old El Paso, Oscar Mayer, Chevy, those are all TV commercials, and she has a Sears and Ameritech for radio spots currently on here. Kate McClanahan.
I didn't know you were here. Last year, after quitting Scotland Yard, I came here to Chicago for a visit. And given my special skills as a black belt in karate and a private investigator, I found employment the moment I arrived. Right there, no hair. I worked the metal detector threshold and conveyor belt. You see, it was early on Thanksgiving Day, my very first Thanksgiving Day, when I found myself drawn into his eyes across a crowded corridor. I felt I'd known him from the first, as if I'd been waiting for him or he for me in this very spot. Before it had been O'Hare, before it had been a prairie, before it had been much else but wide and open and green and completely unknown to anyone but us. Instead, in reality, the 30 feet that lay out between us was packed deep with holiday travelers, anxious to get home in time for mashed potatoes and gravy and the beloved drumstick. Lana, my partner, wanted to switch places, so I took over the scanner on the conveyor, but I kept getting distracted. He had a raw sensuality about him. He was genuine. Oh, you know, when I glanced his way, he'd already been looking at me. God, that adrenaline rush when our eyes met. Oh, he had a red flush to his cheek and soft, almost blue-black hair and blue eyes that were clear and kind and exciting. Oh, he was wearing Levi's and a leather jacket with fleece lining, but every so often when I glanced his way, I could have sworn he was wearing Elizabethan clothing. As if he had just stepped off the stage while playing Hamlet and I I was his Ophelia, all driven mad at just the sight of him. And there were still at least 15 people ahead of him in line. Suddenly a man ran up, an older man, in a camel hair coat, leather gloves, carrying a black attaché. He called to him at first, Henri, Henri. Henri, I thought. He's French. Well, everyone turned back to look and see who Henri was. And the older man whispered something to him, handed him a folded newspaper, shook his hand, and with a pat on the back, he left. Henri looked at me as the man left. I did my best to appear nonchalant and kept busy working. He moved closer in line, but unlike other experiences of this nature, he looked better as he came closer. Oh yes, he didn't move up as close as he could have, leaving those behind him set further back in line than they wanted to be. He was blatantly toying with me at this point. Staring. I felt him trace the nape of my neck with his eyes, my shoulder, the curve of my hip. I wiped a drop from my lip, and I imagined he wiped a drop from my lip with his lips, and they were soft and sweet, as if he had just tasted a very ripe peach. He was only fourth in line from the front when he mouthed, "Do we know each other?" I tried to look busy, as if I hadn't noticed, but Lana elbowed me in the ribs, pointing out he was trying to ask me something. The three people ahead of Henri turned to look at him and then back to me. I could feel my whole face turn red. My hands turned to ice. I didn't want to look him in the eye, but when I did, he walked directly up to me and whispered, "Do we know each other?" He whispered it. I wanted to grab him. I didn't. We were standing only 3 inches apart, gradually drinking in each other's faces. And then our eyes met, and we were back 1,000 years ago. Before cement and iron beams and cold-tinted glass, it was green grass with clover, so thick our legs were deep in it. The wind made whistles as it swooped over some rocky hillside nearby, and we were alone. A moment there, this close. Until I answered him. "No," I told him, "I don't think so." Which was so stupid! 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 I should have said yes. It's me, and it's you, and it's always been this way. But no, not me. I said no. Jesus. He glanced down at my name tag. "Mary," he whispered out loud. By this time, it was Henri's turn to walk through the detector. Lana told me to take a break after this one. She told me I didn't look so good. I watched his carry-on go through X-ray. Something wasn't right. In fact, something was seriously wrong. Now, this was a rather unusual predicament for me. At first glance, I could see that my sweet Henri was packing some rather serious firearms. But I was a professional. I kept my cool, and desperately avoided looking him straight into his eyes as I retrieved his bag to inspect it more carefully, half wishing I was wrong, and yet, well, half hoping I could spend a little more time with him. Well, for God's sake, the man was beautiful.
I'd like to introduce Gigi Faraci Harris. Gigi's been performing since she was a child, I know, because she's my sister. She was a founding member and creator of the internationally known theatrical troupe Child's Play, and is currently the artistic director of the theatrical group The Happiness Club, made up of 38 multi-ethnic performers ages 4 to 17 who communicate to other kids through dance and song that doing the right thing is cool. They've appeared on many TV shows, including Bozo, and performed with Ben Vereen, Donny Osmond, and who's that person from Sesame Street, Gigi? Bob. Gordon from Sesame Street. And all these kids are in the Happiness Club. Gigi's going to actually introduce them. Gigi Faraci Harris.
This is Benjamin Lozada. Johnny Washington.
do. It's an original song written by one of the kids that's in the Happiness Club called Sarah B. She wrote this when she was 10. It's called Dancing in the Streets.
One of the numbers the kids do, you'll recognize Willie and John and Ben in it.
Please watch this screen.
It's a video of one of the performances, one number. It's called Crime in the Streets. Yes, you can talk.
Mary Jo and Joe Foshi choreographed this. Worked very, very hard with the kids, and Lynn Eddington wrote it.
Hi, my name is Lynn Eddington, and I'm a poet, and now I'm going to read two poems. This one is called The Subtle Chill. A subtle chill lurks 'neath the stairs, a subtle ache, a subtle strain. The sun is ever dimmed with death, with subtle wind, with subtle rain, while ever skyward growing hopes amidst the silent stinging threat withhold a burning at the core, but ne'er reveal the yield as yet. It binds the eyes to cloudy skies and grows inside a rotting stench. It drains the life in mind so deep till none are left with fists to clench. In midnight smothering embrace, a flash of black, to slash, to kill, and all are gone without a trace, but, 'neath the stairs, a subtle chill. And now I'm going to read one called Little Green Candles. Little green candles weep on cranberry cloth, one half faded, dusty, worn, its dark brilliance drowned, buried, forgotten under a smothering blanket of time. The other half, torn, scratched, strangled, tattered, battered, like a beaten child alone and screaming on a cold stone floor. Divided in two like a man gone mad, the cranberry cloth hangs defeated. One side like the ragged, threadbare sail of a great ship, once majestic, crying out silently into empty winds about times long ago, when those sails flew like great birds through the crisp sea air. The other half, like a blind old woman in a rocking chair, withered and worn, with her cup of tea close at hand, never knowing whether she's been dreaming again about all those years gone by so fast, like tears cried one night when only her pillow cared, or if her last spark of life has finally slipped away. Each side, though dying the same slow death, envies the other like the moon envies the sun, and the sun the moon, in bitter, confused harmony, while the little green candles weep and weep in burning, agonized sleep.